Hi, I'm here today with David Fernley-Brown. David carries out a mixture of interim MD and change management programmes here in the UK. Hi David.
Hi Dennis.
Let's make a start. How did you get into change management programmes?
Well, it was quite a few years ago actually. When I was a young engineer, I was working in the brewing industry. It's for a company that was the largest brewery, automated brewery in Europe. And just a few years into that, the Monopolies and Mergers Commission decided that the regional breweries couldn't own pubs, and that actually transformed the industry quite significantly. There was very much a need to become far more efficient and competitive. So I was asked to do a transformation program, particularly on our bottling lines at the site, and I was working with the Institute of Japanese Management along with Nissan, and we implemented a TPM/5S program, and I really enjoyed that. I think it was a great opportunity for me to see how we can use tools and techniques that are in the industry and how we can actually engage and see real performance improvement. So from then, actually, I decided to go and work with a large consultancy group, and I was lucky to work with them. They give you a lot of tools and techniques to work with, and I was a senior business analyst for them for a couple of years. And we worked with people like Volvo in Sweden, Travis Perkins, BG International, Alstom, doing all sorts of transformation programs. And then shortly after that, I decided to go and work for myself, and I've been doing that ever since.
Okay. So what's the difference between your change programmes and the lean programmes that are out there?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, Dennis, because I actually think there's a misconception about lean. I think people perceive lean as tools and techniques such as 5S or TPM or value stream mapping, but actually lean was born out of 5 key principles that all manufacturing operations should work with. Now, which one of those and which is more important to you depends on your business model, and I've found over the years that a lot of businesses, their business models are massively different, and therefore it's not, you can't just actually put one thing fits all for them. You need to put different models together to suit their business model. So for example, if you take a sandwich business that's got very short lead times, 6 o'clock order on a vehicle by 11 o'clock, multi-component, very short shelf life, they've got to work to a forecast, they can't work to orders per se, and there's a real challenge for them to minimise their waste and maximise efficiency. Now that's different from somebody, let's say, who's got a different challenge, who's, let's say, working in the confectionery business, who've got long lead time products and long shelf life. Now that doesn't say they haven't got their own challenges, but they are different challenges. So the key is to wrap those principles and focus on the ones that are really important for that business.
Let's talk about a programme that you're really proud of.
Okay, well I think one of them that springs to mind was I was working for a pie factory, branded business in the Northwest. Quite a complex business model. It had 50% of its business was frozen unbaked retail, and 50% was baked fresh to about 2,000 chip shops, and with its own distribution operation. And when I went in there initially, the business was in a bit of state of chaos. Efficiencies were poor, service was poor, and it's very difficult when people are in that negative spiral trying to dig them out. And the key thing is to actually get some stability in the business and then work your way back up into efficiency and service levels, etc. And over a period of about 18 months, we took about £2.5 million worth of cost out of the business in terms of waste and efficiency improvements. And more importantly, we actually developed a team that were working in a very more stable and enjoyable atmosphere, cross-functional. And I'd like to think that we actually did some great stuff with the teams. We had 6 managers, first-line managers, that we put through our own development program, and actually most of them have gone on to become very senior in an industry. In fact, I worked with a couple of senior managers over the last couple of years, so I'm quite proud of that.
Great. And what advice would you give to manufacturers out there who are considering a change program?
Well, I'd say most transformation programs come out of necessity, but when you're at that point, I think it is worth considering support in terms of people like myself and transformation, because if you think about a major capital investment, you will probably think about bringing a project engineer in because that's his specialist skill set, and you would probably realise that you need that extra skill set because the maintenance team can't do that as well as run the day-to-day. So what's different about a transformation program? The guys, the management team are running the day-to-day, which is probably challenging enough. And sometimes it's better to bring an extra resource in to help deliver the change program and who can pull on that wealth of experience and skill from different industries.
Thank you.
To hear how David can support your business, we can line up a meeting. Get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.